This is Nahum chapter 1, verse 15 from the King James Version. The book of Nahum records a message spoken by the prophet Nahum concerning the great Assyrian city of Nineveh. Assyria had ruled with power and violence across the ancient Near East, and its armies had long threatened the people of Judah. These words were spoken to the people of Judah during a time when Assyria still cast a long shadow over the region. In the hills and mountain paths that surrounded the land, messengers sometimes traveled by foot, bringing news from distant places to waiting cities and villages. Behold upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows. For the wicked shall no more pass through thee, he is utterly cut off. Nahum 1 verse 15, King James Version. The words are simple, yet they carry great weight. Nahum speaks into a moment when the power of Assyria had shaped the lives of many nations. Nineveh, its capital, was known for strength, conquest, and fear. For Judah, the presence of such a power meant constant uncertainty, tribute demanded by foreign rulers, and the memory of cities already conquered. Against that background, Nahum describes a familiar sight, a messenger appearing on the mountain paths. In the ancient world, news traveled by the feet of those who carried it. Cities often waited anxiously for the arrival of a runner who could announce what had happened far away. At the center of this verse is the phrase, good tidings. The core truth of this verse is this: the arrival of good tidings means the end of oppression and the return of peace. The messenger does not bring warning or demand. He brings news that the threat which once passed through the land will not come again. That is why Nahum calls Judah to keep their solemn feasts and perform their vows. These were the gatherings and acts of worship that marked the life of the people before God. Under pressure and foreign rule, such rhythms could be interrupted. But the message carried across the mountains announces that something has changed. The words, "he is utterly cut off," speak of the downfall of the power that once threatened them. The verse does not describe the battle itself. Instead, it focuses on the moment when the news arrives. A runner appears on the hills. Feet move quickly along the mountain paths, and the message carried with him is peace. For those who first heard these words, the image would have been clear. The long shadow of a powerful enemy was ending. The messenger on the mountains was not bringing fear, but relief. Within the wider story of Scripture, the image of one who brings good tidings continues to echo. The arrival of good news, spoken and carried across distances, becomes a picture of how peace is announced to those who wait to hear it. Even now, the words of Nahum still describe that quiet moment when the news finally arrives and the weight of threat begins to lift. If these words linger with you, you may wish to return to them again and allow them to settle slowly. Subscribe to Jesus-DailyVerse for daily moments of Scripture read and reflected upon with calm and reverence.